Salutations to all our future judges. In this video, we are going to see how a judicial aspirant can get more or outstanding scores in judicial exams and what are all the basic things which are required to get an outstanding scores in the judicial exams. And there are various stages which a person needs to cross for obtaining a good score in the judicial exams. In addition to this, I'd like to state that whoever is watching this video, please watch the video from the beginning till the end without skipping any part in between, because each and every aspect which has been stated here has been analyzed and then put forth. If you skip anywhere in between, then you might not get the continuity of the aspects which have been stated. And in addition to this, various videos pertaining to the preparation for the preliminary exams of the civil judge as well as the main exams of the civil judge have also been published. I provided the link of the playlist which contains all these videos in the iCard. It will be of great use to you if you watch all those videos and then continue watching this video. Now let us see what are the stages to be crossed by a judicial aspirant for getting outstanding scores in the judicial exams. Let me make it clear that all these series of videos are applicable to any judicial aspirant who is writing a judicial exam across India. Let him be from any state, let him take any kind of judicial exam, immaterial of whether it is civil judge or a district judge or any other judicial exam. These stages are to be crossed, and these aspects are very important for obtaining a very good score in any competitive exam, particularly judicial exams. Now let us see what is the first stage. Stage 1 is obtaining the requisite qualification. Each and every stage is explained in detail subsequently. Let me just read out those stages. Stage 2 is fulfilling the professional requirements. Stage 3 is shattering the mental block. And stage 4 is getting trained to handle external pressures. Stage 5 is knowledge acquisition. And stage 6 is acquiring the art of pleasing examiners by performance. In addition to this, I'd like to state that certain mathematical based calculation are also done so that you can obtain a scorecard of your capability or a scorecard of what you are not capable of or areas in which you need development. All these can be mathematically derived by certain ideas or certain strategies which you can apply and certain scores which you can give. And of course, each and every aspect will differ from person to person. So it is not tailor-made. It is a general aspect which will be given in forthcoming videos. So please keep on watching so that you get an idea of how you can mathematically calculate as to what your plus points are and what your minus points are, or to say what is your strong point or weak point. That would really be helpful to you get better scores in the judicial exams. Now let us come to stage 1, obtaining requisite educational qualification. This is a basic thing for any judicial exam you write. So any judicial exam, the basic requirement would be obtaining a law degree. If you obtained a law degree, you can skip to the next stage pertaining to this stage alone. If you are pursuing a law degree, then you need to try to get the highest possible score in your basic degree. And you need to learn the subjects both in regional language as well as in English. The reason I'm saying this is generally any judicial exam has translation as a paper. So when you get trained in both the languages from the beginning itself, it will be very easy for you to translate any subject without any preparation. It simply means that there is no need for preparing yourself if you are equipped in both the languages simultaneously when you are pursuing your law degree. Next is, if it is possible, you can try to learn the subjects in another language also. For example, imagine if you know Hindi, you can write the exams in 4 or 5 states at least, if you know Hindi. And obviously, if you know English and a regional language, you can write in that state as well. So the number of states where you can compete will increase, which means number of chances of you becoming a judge will increase. So language plays a major role in getting you more opportunities. Then always try to understand all these subjects. Whenever a subject is being taught to you, please ensure that you understand the subject. Don't try to directly memorize them. And you need to memorize certain things. For example, sections, subsections, legal terms, etc. And this is pertaining to the judicial exams alone. Whereas if you are a practicing advocate, you can always refer to the section and you can argue the case, or you can prepare the draft. Whereas if you are going for a judicial exam, preliminary, main exam, or even interview, you need to understand each and every legal term which is being used and each and every section or subsections which are being stated. And next very important thing is, don't flow in the same way as other aspirants do. You need to stand out of the crowd, and that can be done only when you innovate a new way of expression while writing the exam. You can create your own way. You can explain your subject by way of drawing tables or charts or using pie charts, diagrams, any kind of method which you can employ to show that the way you answer is something different, or it is something which a capable person can only do. This would get you more marks while you are writing the exams. And not just this, while you are writing the main exam in the judicial exams, this would really come handy to you because you already trained yourself in writing in this way. So it will give you a clarity as to how you can obtain more marks in your law degree as well as in the judicial exams. Next is stage 2. So there are certain professional requirements which are demanded from a judicial aspirant. We can simply say that the board or the authority which is conducting the exam requires you to comply with all these professional requirements. One is you need to enroll as an advocate. It is an obvious fact. And in some cases, they say like enrollment of advocate is not essential. Those who are capable of getting enrolled as an advocate is also equally eligible to apply. In some states, for civil judge exam, they say like if you are eligible, if you have completed the degree, still if you are capable of enrollment, you can attend the exams, subject to the condition that you should enroll as an advocate. And the next important thing is All India Bar exam needs to be cleared for those who are qualified after 2010. So that is also a basic requirement which is expected from a judicial aspirant. Next is obtaining requisite experience. For example, in case of district judge, there may be a specific number of years which a person needs to show. And in addition to this, in civil judge, there may be a specific number of years which is mentioned, say for 3 years, or in case of district judge, say for 7 years. However, it may vary from state to state, subject to the conditions which have been stipulated. But generally, majority of the states follow a similar pattern. And next, coming to the application of law. So, though it is not stated in the notification, or it does not stipulate as a qualification, it is very essential that a person needs to understand the application of law in profession, because nowadays, due to higher competition in exams, they mainly test your understanding and the application of law. So mere memorization of these sections will not help you in the judicial exams. So you need to understand how that principle or how that section is applied in practical situation, because there may be many sections which are interlinked. There may be many acts which are interlinked. So unless you have a practical knowledge or practical application of law, it will be very difficult for you to clear the preliminary and the main exams. Next is, you need to join or you need to get associated with the right professional. For example, if you are a fresher, you have just completed your law and you're enrolled, then you need to join with the right senior or the right law firm or the right association, because the way you interact with your seniors, the way you interact in the law firm or the association determines or it enhances your capability to answer questions in your interviews. There is a good possibility that senior could ask you questions just like an interview, which will get you more marks and it will ensure your success in the interview as well. And the next and the most important thing is, please don't focus on money. Please focus on maximizing your knowledge. Generally what happens is, there are certain effective law firms which don't pay much, but however the knowledge they impart would be very much higher than the other firms which pay more money. However, if you get more money with maximized knowledge, it's well and good, but don't focus on money. please stress that you're focusing on knowledge rather than money, because this knowledge will ensure your success in the judicial exam and ensure that you get more options to practically try to draft or try to argue in a court or try to prepare cross examination. These are the places where you get maximum knowledge or maximum application of law, as already explained. These are all the aspects which each and every judicial aspirant needs to be thorough to get very high scores in preliminary and the main exam. If you like the video, please press the thumbs up button and also the subscribe channel. Do share the video with your friends and help them come up in their life. Your comments are most welcome in this channel. If you feel that I've left something out, or if you want me to put a video on a specific subject, please do post all those aspects in the comment. I'll try to post a video or I'll try to respond to your comment. Let us join hands together and contribute for a learned society. Thank you.